Mental toughness is a skill, not a trait you are born with. It is what separates those who give up under pressure from those who thrive in the most extreme situations. The men and women of the Navy SEALs are famous for their mental resilience, not just because of rigorous physical training, but because of a deliberate focus on psychological endurance. Understanding how they cultivate mental toughness provides lessons anyone can apply to business, personal challenges, or everyday life. At its core, mental toughness is the ability to remain focused, disciplined, and composed in the face of adversity. It is not about suppressing emotions or pretending fear does not exist. The SEALs understand that fear, doubt, and discomfort are natural, but what matters is how you respond. They train to control reactions, maintain clarity, and make rational decisions, even when the situation is physically and emotionally demanding. Mental toughness is about control over your mind when circumstances are chaotic, unpredictable, or threatening. One of the key principles SEALs follow is embracing discomfort. Training is designed to push recruits beyond their perceived limits, from grueling physical tests to sleep deprivation and harsh environmental conditions. This is deliberate because the mind often gives up before the body reaches its true limit. The ability to tolerate discomfort builds confidence, reduces the fear of failure, and reinforces the belief that challenges are opportunities for growth rather than threats. In everyday life, embracing discomfort may mean facing difficult conversations, learning a new skill, or taking calculated risks that push personal boundaries. Another critical component is goal-oriented focus. SEALs do not tackle challenges without a clear purpose. Every task, no matter how small, contributes to a larger mission. This clarity of purpose prevents mental fatigue and distraction. In civilian life, building mental toughness requires similar clarity. When goals are specific, measurable, and meaningful, the mind can align energy and effort toward them, reducing the tendency to waver under pressure. Mental toughness is easier to sustain when you know why you are enduring the struggle and what the payoff will be. Self-discipline is another foundation of SEAL mental toughness. Discipline ensures consistent action even when motivation is low or conditions are adverse. SEALs follow strict routines, adhere to high standards, and take responsibility for their actions. They understand that discipline is the bridge between goals and results. Building discipline in everyday life strengthens mental resilience. It may involve sticking to a workout plan, adhering to a schedule, or maintaining focus on important projects despite distractions. Discipline is the engine that keeps mental toughness functioning when external circumstances are difficult. Visualization is a psychological tool used extensively by Navy SEALs. Before a mission, they mentally rehearse every scenario, anticipating challenges, obstacles, and responses. Visualization trains the brain, reduces anxiety, and prepares recruits for high-stress environments. Civilians can use the same technique to enhance performance in professional or personal situations. Imagining success, planning responses to potential setbacks, and mentally practicing challenging tasks strengthens the mind, increases confidence, and improves the ability to remain composed under pressure. Stress inoculation is another method SEALs use to build mental toughness. Training exposes recruits to controlled stressors, gradually increasing intensity to improve tolerance and response. This approach is rooted in neuroscience, which shows that repeated exposure to manageable stress strengthens neural pathways responsible for regulation and decision-making. In daily life, stress inoculation might involve practicing difficult conversations, public speaking, or completing tasks under time pressure. The principle is the same. Controlled exposure to challenges makes the mind resilient and adaptable. Another principle is the power of perspective. SEALs are trained to maintain situational awareness and avoid catastrophizing. In the field, panic can be fatal, but calm, focused problem-solving saves lives. Mental toughness requires the ability to assess situations realistically, focus on what can be controlled, and take strategic action. Civilians can adopt this mindset by focusing on solutions rather than problems, breaking overwhelming challenges into manageable steps, and reframing difficulties as opportunities for growth. Perspective reduces mental overwhelm and strengthens endurance. Team cohesion and support are also vital in cultivating toughness. SEALs operate in teams where trust, communication, and accountability are essential. Mental resilience is reinforced by knowing that others depend on you and you depend on them. In life, building a support system, whether through mentors, friends, or colleagues, enhances mental toughness. Accountability encourages consistent effort, emotional support reduces stress, and shared experience builds confidence to tackle difficult situations. Mental toughness is amplified when individuals feel connected to a larger purpose or community. Physical fitness is inseparable from mental toughness in the CL philosophy. The body and mind are deeply connected, and physical conditioning strengthens endurance, confidence, and focus. Regular exercise, disciplined nutrition, and sufficient rest improve cognitive function and emotional regulation. Challenges that might seem overwhelming when physically depleted become manageable when the body is strong and resilient. Physical training is not just about performance, it is a strategy to fortify mental toughness through controlled stress, routine, and persistence. Self-reflection and learning from failure are essential for CL mental toughness. Mistakes are inevitable in high-stakes environments, but the focus is on extracting lessons and improving future performance. Resilient individuals view setbacks as feedback rather than defeat. Developing the habit of reflective practice in everyday life strengthens mental toughness. After encountering difficulties, assessing what worked, what did not, and how to adapt builds confidence and prepares the mind for future challenges. Failure becomes a tool for growth rather than a trigger for discouragement. Another method to cultivate mental toughness is incremental exposure to high-pressure situations. SEALs train progressively, starting with manageable stressors and gradually increasing complexity and intensity. The mind learns to adapt, stress response systems are calibrated, and confidence grows. In civilian life, tackling tasks that push comfort zones in a controlled, progressive manner produces similar results. Public speaking, challenging projects, or leadership responsibilities can be approached gradually to build resilience, tolerance, and confidence. Visualization, discipline, exposure to controlled stress, perspective, team support, physical conditioning, and reflection all combine to create mental toughness. However, the most fundamental principle is commitment to purpose. SEALs endure extreme conditions because they are committed to a mission larger than themselves. Mental toughness in life is similarly sustained by commitment to meaningful goals. Whether personal development, professional achievement, or contribution to others, having a clear purpose aligns energy, reinforces resilience, and transforms challenges into manageable steps. Self-talk is another powerful tool for building mental toughness. CLs train to replace negative or defeating thoughts with constructive, action-oriented statements. How the mind interprets challenges affects behavior. Pessimistic self-talk amplifies stress and decreases resilience, while positive, realistic reinforcement strengthens confidence and persistence. Practicing intentional self-talk affirmations or internal coaching is a simple but effective strategy for everyday mental toughness. Another critical element is decision control. Mental toughness is tested not only in crisis but in daily choices. CLs understand that discipline in small decisions builds the foundation for resilience in large ones. Maintaining control over daily routines, responses to adversity, and commitment to priorities reinforces mental strength. Each small choice compounds over time, creating a mindset where endurance, focus, and strategic action are the default rather than the exception. The Navy SEAL approach to mental toughness is comprehensive, combining physical, psychological, and social factors. It is about training the mind to handle fear, endure discomfort, maintain focus, and act strategically under pressure. It is about aligning actions with purpose, building systems that support resilience, and developing habits that reinforce strength. These principles can be applied by anyone willing to commit to consistent effort and structured practice. Mental toughness is not a natural gift. It is a deliberate, trainable skill. The principles of Navy SEAL mental toughness, embracing discomfort, disciplined routines, visualization, stress inoculation, perspective, team support, physical conditioning, self-reflection, purpose, self-talk, and decision control, can be applied outside the battlefield. They are a roadmap for anyone who wants to thrive under pressure, overcome adversity, and achieve long-term success. Mental toughness is accessible, learnable, and actionable. The question is whether you are willing to step outside comfort, embrace challenge, and commit to building it every day.